Okay, we're live. Woo! Oh man, there have been many mountains to climb to get us to this moment. It is a delight to see everything working so far. There are a lot of moving parts behind the scenes here, so we're going to talk about the chat, but please let us know in the chat if something's not working for you. Well, first things first. My name's Hannah Flanders. I am a co-founder of the Kearsarge Food Hub. My pronouns are she, her.
And I'm Tara Mahady, and I'm the development director for the Food Hub, and my pronouns are she, her.
We both work in the community engagement department of the Food Hub. Delighted to have Tara join us from the board into our community engagement department this year. And we wanted to let everybody know that we are both vaccinated. And Peter is here, our tech guy. Say hi, Peter.
Hello, hello.
Hey, we're so lucky to have him. He's really making things work behind the scenes, and he is vaccinated as well. So, what are we doing here? And who are we? Well, like we mentioned, we are with the Kearsarge Food Hub. Some of you probably definitely know us. Some of you might not, so welcome. Home of Sweet Beet Farm, Market, and Cafe. So you might be familiar with Sweet Beet. You might be less familiar with the Kearsarge Food Hub as kind of our mothership nonprofit organization. And we are coming to you live in the Evergreen Healing Arts Studio here at 11 West Main Street. And we just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Leah Cummings for letting us set up in the Evergreen Healing Arts Studio. We tried a few locations. And one thing or another led us to this cozy little spot. So.
Loud refrigerators.
We tried to come at you from Sweet Beet Cafe, and there's a lot of buzzing refrigerators and freezers down there.
Yeah.
So yes, we are here in the Evergreen Healing Arts Studio, and this is the Love Local, Meet Your Farmers and Makers virtual event that we have been talking about for weeks now. We're so excited for you to join us. As we've mentioned, this is the first time we've ever done an event of this nature, and like everybody, we've been needing to pivot and learn new skills so that we could connect as a community in a safe and healthy way. So we're so excited to take this time to get to know some of our community partners. This is the kickoff event for the season of gratitude and giving, which extends through the month of November, ending on Giving Tuesday, which is November 30th. So this is just the beginning of a really special season.
It is. And now we'd like to give you all a chance to introduce yourselves. So I see that a number of you have found the chat functionality. And what we'd love for you to do is introduce yourself. We'd love to know your name and where you're coming from. And if you are having anything yummy to eat, that would be fantastic to pop into the chat as well.
Send it over our way.
If you could just take a moment and do that, you can hit send. We just really want to sort of create a web of connection here in this virtual realm that we are in at the moment,
Yes.
so that we can get to know one another. And we're hearing from a number of people here, so keep saying hello in the chat if you can.
Yes, please. And we're trying to make sure that the video stays nice and smooth. Hopefully we don't have a lot of bumps in the road. It's probably inevitable, so hang tight. I think when we go into some of our produced videos that we've made for the night, those will be nice and smooth. Our live might be, a little bumpy, but I think it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So, like we mentioned, this is the kickoff season of gratitude and giving, and tonight we're really focusing on gratitude. We're going to be highlighting and celebrating some of our farmer and producer and artist partners here in the community, and really just taking the time to celebrate these people and the work that they do feeding and nourishing our community.
So one of the things that we do here at the Kearsarge Food Hub before all of our meetings, before our gatherings, whether it's a meeting between the two of us or as a board, we like to come together in presence, and we do a little bit of intention setting and breathing. So I'd like to invite you all to do that with us right now. So if you could just feel your feet on the ground in whatever way makes sense to you, notice the points of contact of your body to the chair, wherever you're sitting. And some people like to bring a hand on the heart. You don't have to do that. Again, whatever feels appropriate for you. And just take a couple of conscious breaths. And allow to come into the atmosphere of your being this feeling of gratitude. And thinking about your community, our community that we share. And now, if you could just take a moment and type into the chat some of the things that you're grateful for. Grateful for about our community. That would be really wonderful. Hannah, do you have anything in particular that rose up for you in that moment?
Oh man, well, I was grateful for my heartbeat for a moment there, and that's a recurring theme for us at the Food Hub, the heartbeat, of course, a little play on words, and just knowing that everyone here tonight is sharing that beat is really special.
Yeah.
How about for you, Tara?
Oh, I'm grateful for so much. As you know, the Kearsarge Food Hub has sort of changed my whole life. Being somebody who lived out of state or lived out of town, I moved up here and now really feel a part of the community because of the Food Hub and because of all the people who make up the Food Hub. So I feel like I've come home. So that's what I'm grateful for.
Tears early on or tears later? Like, when's it gonna go? That's beautiful.
The other thing that we really want to talk about is how grateful we are for our generous donors. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for those of you who made a donation tonight. This is a free by donation event, and we've all together already raised around $2,500, which is just phenomenal. And what I'm really excited to talk about is that this also kicks off a month-long matching gift challenge. A really generous donor in our community has donated $30,000 in matching funds, and will match all of the donations that we raise between now and November 30th, dollar for dollar. So that $2,500 that we've raised so far is actually worth $5,000. So thank you very much to that anonymous donor, who is a tremendous friend to the Food Hub. And tonight if we are hoping maybe we might get to around $3,000, which would be 10% of that $30,000.
Which would be giving us a tremendous head start to this campaign. And I kind of wanted to reflect just briefly before we get started into some of the videos we have for you tonight. 2 years ago at our Love Local campaign, I think we raised about $7,000 or something around year end. Last year, we ended up raising around $32,000 total with a matching gift, and now we're hoping to raise $60,000 total dollars with a matching gift. So we're really leveling up, and it's all because of you. Thank you so much for being here, and we hope to use this evening to not only kick off that fundraiser, but like we said, really to be grateful for the people who make our work possible.
I want to say hi to a few people out there who are saying hello in the chatosphere. We have Andy and Dorothy, Lori.
Hi, Andy and Dorothy.
Lori saying she's grateful for family and friends. Wendy is here. And Alicia is here enjoying marinara made from tomatoes she got at Sweet Tea Market.
Love that, love that. Yes.
Lots of people saying they're grateful for our community. Thank you so much for engaging in the chat. Makes it so much more dynamic and inclusive for everybody here.
And it's almost like we get to share food a little bit, at least by describing it. I mean, it's definitely something that we miss as a food hub and a food-based organization, but we know you're at home enjoying delicious food, and that's enough for us right now.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. Well, what you can expect tonight. So we're launching now. We're ending around 8 o'clock. We're going to be prompt and on time for you to respect your time. And thank you so much for spending a couple hours with us. We have this live commentary throughout the evening, and we're going to be breaking off to about 10 very short produced videos that we've made that I've been fortunate enough to go out into the community and visit with our farmer and maker partners, as well as Leah Cummings and our community engagement committee, going out and talking with some community members members, getting some videos from them. I'm really excited to share with you what we've cooked up. And then we're going to come back and chat a little bit about it. And we also have some other exciting things to announce throughout the evening. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, so we're going to take it back a couple of years to get things started. I don't know if you remember and if you were around, but we put out a Love Local video and intention in 2019. Of course, none of us could have imagined how things would have unfolded in the years to come. So it seems more relevant than ever before to revisit that pledge, to talk about how to inspire a little bit of hope. We're not going to wash over the issues. We're going to be real, but we're going to inspire hope, and we're going to figure out how to take action today. So let's kick it back to 2019 and check out that Love Local video. Peter, wish us luck.
I see.
The world feels like a pretty grim place right about now. It's easy to become overwhelmed or lost in despair. In a little town called Bradford, in a little corner of New Hampshire, a few people decided to respond to the state of the world by moving back home and building a local food hub. We started by taking it one day at a time. 5 years later, and we've built Sweet Beet Farm, Market, and Kitchen. We're nurturing partnerships with farmers, neighbors, and community organizations. We're contributing to the revival of an historic old building at 11 West Main, helping to revitalize Main Street, and creating more connections around local food.
It seems to me that from the very start, Sweet Beet and Kearsarge Food Hub have involved the community. They've made a concerted effort to do that.
I think the best thing about the Kearsarge Food Hub and Sweet Beets is that for a chef, it's a great place to find so many different varieties in terms of produce that are local. And then I can use them at my restaurant to influence the community to go out and purchase these things at farmers market, try these things at home, and understand the importance of buying things that are a lot closer to you and that are in season.
This is a dream come true. I get to walk around the corner, choose foods that have been locally grown and raised, and put that meal on the table for my family. Truly, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened in our lives.
It's about the Sweet Beet, that's cool as shit, because, you know, you guys are the next generation. You are the next generation. We're not going to pick up your slack. You're going to pick up ours, you know. That's pretty cool. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad Bradford's got you.
Not only is it important for the community to gather there, I just love the influx of young people, and I think there's a great boost in the hope and positive thinking of the town.
Is bringing life back to Bradford. And young people are here, that's even better. And old residents from Bradford, kids who grew up in Bradford are here. I think that's just terrific.
You know, you start planting some seeds, and you don't ever really know what will grow. This organization, the Kearsarge Food Hub, has blossomed into something greater than we could have ever predicted. We realize now that it's so much more than just sustainability through farming and health through local food. It's about civic and social responsibility. It's about growing community. We've seen the strength of community firsthand, and now we're setting an intention to harness its power, to help us all rise up and grow into our potential for finding hope and making the world a better place. We offer this pledge.
All good. I pledge to believe in tomorrow.
I absolutely pledge to believe in tomorrow.
I pledge to believe in tomorrow. I pledge to believe in tomorrow.
I pledge to believe in tomorrow.
By supporting local food, farms, and my community today.
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 Today. Today.
Yes, there are problems to solve. Yes, there is work to do. But the truth is, we can do it. We can do all of it. Each one of us has something to contribute.
I will slow down. I will show up.
I will find common ground.
I will embrace humanity.
These are the ingredients for positive change, and they are within reach for all of us. And we must work toward them every day.
Not because it's easy, but because it is hard.
We aren't guaranteed tomorrow. The future is for our children. We must ask ourselves, what kind of world are we leaving for them? The winds of change are blowing. A new decade is upon us, and we have an incredible opportunity to choose how to respond to the world. If we take this pledge and slow down and assess our values, if we can show up for ourselves and our community, if we focus on finding common ground, and most importantly, if we embrace the humanity in ourselves and each other, we, the people, have the power to be a force for good. May this force be with you.
No, just thanks for being you. And thank everybody else that you work with for being them, you know? Yeah, you're the real deal. And that's it. Shut the off.
Yay! We fixed our first tech issue of the night. Thanks for bearing with us, everybody. To be expected, and I just wanted to kind of reiterate some of the things that were said in the chat. If that happens again, we will fix things on our end. You can refresh the page, or you can close out the page altogether and go back in, click in the link through your email where you got the email instructions here.
Right.
Does that make sense? I hope so. We're going to keep us rolling so that we can respect everybody's time. That definitely gave a good overview of who we are here at the Kearsarge Food Hub. We've been working on all that stuff over the past couple years, and it's so great to see all those faces in that video.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
So we're going to take a moment now and just ask you a quick question. How do you love local? How do you make an investment in your local community? So again, take a moment there and just a couple of breaths. And if you could add it into the chat, that would be great.
Yes, definitely love to hear from you. And we'll move right along to our next video. We got to visit with the Bruss family at Silver Hill Farm. Near and dear to our hearts, Pamela Bruss is on the board of the Kearsarge Food Hub, and she is such an incredible community member. Their whole entire family, they're just so wonderful, and well, I'll let them speak for themselves. Let's go check out Silver Hill Farm. Speak for themselves. Let's go check out Silver Hill Farm.
Welcome to Silver Hill Farm, Bradford, New Hampshire. We're the Bruss family. I'm Pam. And we raise Hereford beef cows for our friends and family. And we have a little farm school for homeschoolers. It's a supplemental program. They come here. It's a project-based arts and agriculture school. And they help us raise our animals and become part of our family as well. 12 years ago, I met Nathaniel. And he said, I hope you eat beef. And I didn't. But then I learned how he was growing the beef cows, and I was a horse person, so I did not think that cows would be my thing. and I utterly fell in love with them. It started with one cow named Maya. We call her Mama Maya. We have strong bonds with all of them. Nathaniel works full-time, has his own business, and is also a full-time farmer. So that means I don't really see him that much. Nights and weekends are the time when he's doing all of his farming chores, which includes fencing, mowing, fertilizing fields, moving cows. We spent last year 30 hours just driving back and forth to the butcher for multiple trips, and that's something people really don't realize is how much time it takes. That doesn't include the time in the trailer moving cows from field to field and running around the field multiple times chasing those cows because maybe they don't feel like moving today. So even though I'm doing most of the talking today, I would really give him the kudos for being the behind the scenes and doing the majority of the hardcore work. The hardest thing is trying to be a small scale farmer in an industry that is really commercialized and maybe doesn't care as much about each individual animal. The largest challenge for us recently has been being bumped from slaughterhouse to slaughterhouse. So we were with Vermont Packing House, and we were processing 17 animals a year, and we were told we were too small. They just want to streamline their processes and not have special cut sheets for each individual customer. We're grass-fed only, no grain, and we love our animals. And that's really important to us, so where their process is important. We have to schedule them a year in advance. We'll spend hours on a phone redialing and redialing until we can get through on the day that we're allowed to schedule and maybe get appointments for the following year, maybe not. We can't really predict what our costs are going to be because of external forces like that. I do feel that the current situation we are in with COVID really changed our customers' outlook on small farms, which is really amazingly cool. You know, they understand the pressures we're feeling and have been really understanding and supportive, where before they might not have been as understanding because the knowledge wasn't there. And everybody became quickly aware of the importance of availability for food. I'm hopeful that on our farm, we'll be able to figure out how to decrease the amount of time that it requires so that we get more time as a family. We are going to cut our herd down because you can only balance so much, and it's been a really hard year. So I'm hopeful that we find more of a balance. We're building fields and creating infrastructure here to make it more sustainable. The consumers, you know, how you guys can help small farmers, not just us, is really go out, know your farmer, know where your food comes from, so that when you're in the store and making those choices, you're able to be educated in making that decision. Maybe it costs a little bit more, or maybe you have to take 10 more minutes to drive to the market instead of Market Basket. That those choices are being made and making sure that other farmers are being supported. No.
Just love the Bruss family. It's such a great homestead, and I've been lucky to send both of my kids there actually to Silver Hill Farm School, and they do such an incredible job taking the kids outside, like they said, making them a part of the family, helping them care for their animals, giving like that kind of experience that you cannot get anywhere else. And I thought it was really important too that Pam spoke to the challenges of a small scale meat producer, which is certainly not unique to them, and that is why here at Sweet Beet Market we really value our small scale meat producers and very much encourage people to utilize those resources right here in our community. It's super important to do that, and thank you so much, Pam and Nathaniel and Emily and Anna, for just being amazing overall.
And with the Silver Hill Farm, they have made a generous contribution to our online auction, which I want to tell you about a little bit. Peter, could you show them the screen? Great, wonderful. So we have an online auction that runs through December 3rd, and it kicks off tonight. We have 40 auction items sourced from within a 50-mile radius. Now, when you go into the auction, we'll put the link in the chat. When you go into the auction, make sure you scroll through all of the different pages. We have auction items from our farmers. We have 30 pounds of ground beef from Silver Hill Farm. Thank you.
Which was a hot item last year, and I ended up bidding on it, and I might have won, but anywho.
We have auction items from food producers, makers, artists, and we also have a bunch of experiences too, including a block printing workshop and a permaculture design course, which is really exciting. You will have to register to get a bidder number, and you will have to also provide your credit card up front, but you will not be charged unless you get the winning bid. So again, the auction runs through December 3rd, and it will close then, and we'll get your auction items to you in plenty of time for holiday gift giving, if that is appropriate.
Yeah, that is a great way to shop for gifts, again, if that's something that you do. And it also ties into our 50-mile holiday challenge, which is really something that ties this all together, right? We have the season of gratitude and giving. It's a fundraiser for the Kearsarge Food Hub, and we also have, Sweet Beet Farm Market Cafe, and this great auction with all of these wonderful local producers. And with all of these resources, we're really hoping to give you the tools that you need to source locally this holiday season. All of the dollars that we spend in our local community just enhance and strengthen our resilience in this area. And luckily, there are so many great things from those farmers, food producers, artists. I can't wait for you to check out the auction and see what might be right for you. Now, we're going to take a look at the next couple videos. The next video coming up is near and dear to our hearts. It's from Kathleen Bigford. Hi, Kath, if you're watching. Hey. Kathleen's a co-founder of the Food Hub. She's going to talk a little bit about slowing down. And then we're going to pop over and visit our friends at Warner Public Market in Warner, New Hampshire. Talk about a 50-mile holiday. They have a lot of great stuff. So let's check it out.
I'm Kathleen Bigford, and 2 years ago, prompted by Hannah, I took a pledge to slow down, particularly to slow down in the surroundings that we have in this local place. As it turns out, here I am in my own backyard that I love, and it has been one wild ride of 2 years since I took this pledge. And to be totally honest, 2 years ago when I said I pledged to slow down, I knew it was going to be a challenge. There are some things that have happened. Of course, we know that we were all part of the COVID lockdown that happened last year in 2020, and it was an event that lent itself to me in my stage of life and in the particular things that I do. It lent itself to slowing down quite a bit. It's been a real lesson in how to deal with modern life. I've always had an enduring appreciation for where I live. The physical surroundings of this place I'm so well suited to it. It's so well suited to me, and I have been able to enjoy it and appreciate it even more. I can pretty much meet most of my needs right within 5 miles of here. As I took this pledge, my plan was to pretty much be able to go to a different part of this continent or off of this continent just about every year. And I don't feel like I need to do that anymore. It's part of COVID, it's part of the aging, it's part of appreciating that I can slow down to be able to push myself, and then to be able to come home or sit around with friends or on the porch at 11 West Main and know that I can stop and enjoy the company of other people or just be by myself.
Love the chat talks right now, talking about how do you slow down? That's a really good question. These days it's hard to do, but I mean, since COVID, to be honest, it's been a little bit easier, right?
Well,
for some of us.
Yeah.
For some of us.
Yeah, for sure.
So true.
Okay, so let's go back. Reset. So we just saw the video from Kath and part of Warner Public Market. You might not have seen the whole thing, folks. I'm not sure. But let's reset there.
Yeah. Do you want to go back to Warner Public Market? Or move on from there?
Let's just move on from there.
Okay.
Why don't you talk a little bit about our partnership with Warner Public Market?
Warner Public Market is incredible. They're a wonderful group of friends over in Warner who started in 2018. Sarah does such a great job describing everything that they're doing over there. So we will be sharing these videos after the fact, so you will absolutely be able to catch them. But we work with Warner Public Market on a weekly basis. We have a wonderful volunteer, Jay, who shuffles produce back and forth. We use our kind of ordering collection infrastructure on a week-to-week basis to place orders not only for Sweet Beet Market here, but also for Warner Public Market. They hold some produce for us over there that's coming from farms closer in their neck of the woods, and so we really have this super neat collaboration where we are living into that shared infrastructure, that shared vision, and it's really wonderful to see not only the local food that they have there, though, but also the beautiful art that they have. They have a wide range of art, and Sarah talks about it. I'm not sure if you saw in the video, but how they're trying to just support funky and inspiring art and really just get people to be using their hands. When Sarah talks about what she's hopeful for in 2022, she's hopeful for the year of the workshop. So people sitting around making wooden spoons, making rag rugs, making zines, and talking and being together and making things with their hands. That is absolutely what Warner Public Market is all about. So definitely keep your eyes open for some of that coming in 2022. And otherwise, go visit them over at 19 Main Street in Warner. Yeah.
I want to read just a couple of these. We asked in the chat, how do you slow down? And I just love some of these answers. Long walks by myself, cooking, baking, walk in the woods. Long walks by myself or my slow down go-to as well. Hanging out with my chickens.
See you, Jen.
We knew exactly who that was. It's just really lovely. Wildlife photography, it's all of these different interests and different ways of being that, make our community what it is. And we appreciate you all so much. And I also want to acknowledge that somebody made a $500 donation. It's an anonymous donation. It put us over our $3,000 goal for this evening.
Thank you so much.
And it really, the commentary with it was lovely, and I'm going to read it. This is an investment in us, our local community, our neighbors, our families, our local sustainability. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We promised each other we weren't going to cry today.
That's false. I promised Tara I would make her cry. So my only bummer is it's not me making her cry right now. No, that is super touching. Thank you so much. And I love so many references to about cooking and baking and being in the kitchen, because I do think that has been one of the silver linings as we've all been home more.
Yeah.
Is to be cooking more. And we're definitely big fans and supporters of cooking at home with your family. There's a lot that happens.
I've actually become a cook thanks to the Food Hub.
So you can be converted. If you're out there, you're not a cook, stick with us.
It will happen.
It will happen. Okay, great. Well, we're going to move on. Like I said, we will be sharing all these videos, so I absolutely encourage you to follow back, follow up.
Follow us on social media.
Follow us on social media. There was another phrase I was looking for, but I couldn't find it. But anyway. Oh, circle back.
Circle back.
Circle back. That's a good one. We're going to move on now to the next kind of group of videos that we have for you. Really hoping that they work. because there's beautiful things going on out there in the community. And so I'm really excited to kick it over to Leah, first of all. She's going to talk about showing up. And once again, this is Evergreen Healing Arts. This is Leah's studio that we're in. So really great to hear from her. And then we are going to visit Stephanie and her crew over at Micro Mamas. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Leah. I'm sitting here on a bridge in Bradford, New Hampshire, over a brook that connects my property with my parents' property at the house I grew up on, and where I'm now raising my children. In 2019, the Kearsarge Food Hub asked me to take a pledge about living and loving local, and to talk about some of the ingredients as to how we do that around here. I had the opportunity to explore the value of showing up over the last couple of years. I show up at the studio downtown, at the Evergreen studio, to practice yoga and massage with my community. There is really nothing that I enjoy more sharing with my community than like getting together about something healthy, you know, be it healthy food or going for a walk or taking a yoga class together. It's also has been really gratifying to do that, because the community, like having the community come together that way, really encourages me to nurture my own practice too. So having the practices of self-care, you know, to spend that time showing up on my mat and showing up for myself to get a massage, not just give them, is what can really help me show up for other people too. And I'm so lucky to be in a community of other people working, you know, with stuff that they believe in, you know, with deliberate actions, so that when my community is showing up, they're showing up for me too, and supporting me in ways that I can continue walking the path that I believe in so deeply. Over the past couple of years in, you know, living local, I guess that's really been illuminated by living in a pandemic. You know, we've been closer to home than ever before, and you know, spending more time with each other and with the things and people that mean the most to us. You know, it's been a challenge being a small business owner, to say the very least. And so one of the ways that I'm figuring out how to keep showing up for the community as a yoga teacher and a massage therapist is by actually downsizing my business. You know, I have made the space that I'm working in a bit smaller and made it a convertible space, so it's got a real tiny house vibe going on. We've got a few phases to the studio now. If you haven't seen the changes, you should definitely come in and check it out. So I've been able to show up by letting go a little bit, and sometimes it's the hardest thing to do, but can be the most rewarding.
Hey, I'm Stephanie from Micro Mamas. Micro Mamas was started in 2012. We had our first ferment and then certification in March of 2013, and I've changed our spots, everything from like literally a 10 square foot certified cage in the bottom of a restaurant where we had our first ferments, and then we asked around, got some support for some other local businesses in Henniker. So we moved to Ware. Our sales were like $500 the first year. To bring us to current, we are in 60 to 85 locations in 5 different states. We source our vegetables right here in New Hampshire with certified New Hampshire organic growers, and then also in Vermont, Maine, and Massachusetts. We do an average of anywhere from 45,000 pounds to 80,000 pounds of New Hampshire organic certified produce a year. We are mastering the art of fermentation, so we are able to fill the gap of having year-round accessibility to locally grown, to serve up year-round and be tasty treat of fermentation delectables. A real recent challenge. New Hampshire has one certifying agent for the National Organic Program, the USDA Federal Organic Program, and that is the New Hampshire Department of Agriculture, Markets, and Foods. And recently we got notification that the department was cutting their certification program for processors, which is us, and livestock. Now we are going to be put in a situation with hiring an agency to be our certifier outside the state of New Hampshire. New Hampshire Department of Ag was the only certifying agent in the state of New Hampshire. But what we really need is the resources for our farmers, for our local food web, which is directly correlated with our economic structure here, with our food and integrity in the state of New Hampshire. These initiatives for keeping agricultural strong in our state is directly related to the amount of humans that have a vested interest in food, and that's all of us, right? The number one and easiest thing we can do is to support local farming, support local stores that support local farmers by purveying foods that are grown within our region. Every dollar that's spent in New Hampshire supporting our farmers, our agricultural community, and also the stores that you shop at is vital to all of us. Over the years, we've had dozens of New Hampshire growers, and I feel like I have the best job. We all have the best job here because we get to work with living foods and make even value-added living foods. We're the processor that will buy the imperfect vegetables. We can work ginormous beets and peel out outer layers of cabbage and get carrots that have 3 heads. And still make that a really beautiful end product. Something that we're going to release really soon, you guys are the first to know, is, so I think I crowned myself the Queen of Kraut. Yeah, that's a real thing. Like, Micro Mama's Queen of Kraut. And so whether you're like a restaurant that just has a Reuben on your menu, you're in our kingdom. We're coming. And if you are already in alignment and serving up lots of locally purveyed foods, we're working on a food service sector bigger now than we ever have. Institutions, schools, colleges, businesses that are serving up locality on full scale. We're here, we're ready, we cannot wait to meet you. Get ready for our proclamation. The Queen has made a proclamation, it's coming, and you'll be seeing it soon.
We're back. I really hope you enjoyed watching those videos. The heart that's embodied at Micro Mama's is incredible. I loved going to visit their operation in Ware, New Hampshire. Stephanie is incredible. Their whole crew is incredible. It's a family operation. And it's important to note, too, the challenges that Stephanie spoke to, having those certifying agents in New Hampshire disappear and needing to seek outside agencies to certify those organic processors and livestock folks. That's a huge problem in our state. And it actually reflects what's going on with the with Silver Hill and the small-scale meat producers. There being a bottleneck in the slaughterhouse processing of those animals. So kind of outside of filming, Stephanie spoke a lot about all of us getting involved with our state representatives, writing letters and being involved to get those resources on the state level there to support agriculture in New Hampshire. And of course, it was wonderful to see Leah on that magical bridge with leaves raining down around her. It was so great to chat with her there. And I thought that when she spoke to letting go, that was pretty powerful. When you think about showing up, we're all talking about in the Kearsarge Food Hub and in my close group of friends, you know, how do you show up over time in a way that is true to yourself and true to your own boundaries? And there's a lot to explore there because we're coming from a culture where overworking yourself and overdoing it is very much valued and celebrated. And so pushing back against that is like a whole new era.
It's revolutionary.
And it really is. And, you know, a couple days ago was Halloween, and Leah showed up by sitting on the porch here and handing out candy.
Yeah.
And Leah, you're incredible. You're always showing up in so many different ways for your family, for your friends, for your community. So thank you so much.
So we're going to go back to the auction now for a moment. Peter's going to show the screen and scroll through a few things. We do have an auction item from Micro Mamas and other food-based auction items. Like I said before, we have the Sweet Beet Cafe Mystery Box, the Holiday Seafood Medley from New Hampshire Community Seafood. We have a Sweet Beet Market CSA, 4-week CSA. That was a hot item last year as well. And we also have, like I said before, the Local Harvest CSA.
Yeah, it's really neat because we just this past summer, Sweet Beet Farm started sending produce to Local Harvest. The folks who started that are absolutely champions of local food. They have definitely been inspirations to us, Dave Trumbull and everyone there. Thank you for donating and thank you for leading the way here in sourcing and eating locally in our community.
Yeah, and I also want to mention that another one of the items that we have is a vineyard tour at Shara Vineyards in Concord. Thank you very much for that donation. I also just want to mention a few other things that we have on the auction item list. We have a lot of things from artists and makers. We have a wonderful lamp from Don Moss. It's a beautiful firewood lamp. He's an incredible artist here in town. We have lots of photography, prints, housewares, pottery and mugs for the home. There's a beautiful custom pack basket that I am actually coveting by Ellie Brown of Wild Iris Handicrafts, and I have a number. I did her pottery share this year, and I have a basket of hers and a couple of others on order. She does absolutely beautiful work.
Wow.
And I'm so excited that we get to highlight these local makers and artists, and all of these people are linked, so their websites are linked in the auction.
Yes. And all of these folks, like you said, absolutely incredible. I do want to point out Ellie Brown. She and her partner here in town have been so involved in so many ways in the community. She volunteered here at Sweet Beet a little ways back. She's been over at Warner Public Market. She's been hosting workshops. She actually came here this spring to hand out Abenaki seeds as part of our Abenaki Seeds project with local partners to get farmers growing those heritage seeds to then donate back to the Abenaki Food Pantry. It was really special that she took the time to do that. So thank you so much, Ellie. It's wonderful to share this community with you.
Yeah, real embodiment of what we love to celebrate here at the Kearsarge Food Hub.
Yes, 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 yes. So speaking of embodying what we love to celebrate here at the Kearsarge Food Hub, we have a couple more videos for you coming up. And we're going to talk about finding common ground with Susan Reeder Moss, talk about an incredible local artist and community supporter. And then we're going to go see Sam Bauer at Kearsarge Gore Farm, which was super fun to go visit him. So let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Susan Reeder Moss. My husband and I moved to Bradford in 2015, and we've been so happy to be able to be part of the Kearsarge Food Hub community as they've been building their influence in the Bradford area. A couple years ago, I took a pledge for the Food Hub to find common ground in my community. One of the first ways I was able to find community in this area was through clay. And I'm a teacher, a retired high school teacher and potter. And I've always found that clay is a great way to bring community together. I think one of the things that pottery shares with farming is the earth. Clay is from the earth, and it's something that we put our hands on. And with lots of hard work and a little bit of alchemy, whether we're talking about sun and water making plants grow, or water and fire, firing pots so that they can be used and shared over and over again, there's a strong connection there. I've also had fun finding common ground working with the Bradford community gardeners, and it's a group of like-minded residents who love working in the earth, growing flowers, and working around town to make things beautiful. We also love sharing our own fields here on Center Road with Silver Hill Farm. In fact, I can see Nathaniel out there right now mowing so that next year's grass will welcome the cows back again. Where we are on Central Road is just around the corner from the Bradford Center Meeting House, which has a long tradition of celebrating Christmas Eve with a pageant of neighbors, concerts in the summer. I've really enjoyed working with the Friends of the Bradford Center Meeting House to plan upcoming events for the future that will continue to celebrate and preserve the history of the geographical center of Bradford.
My name is Sam Bauer, and we are on Kearsarge Gore Farm, which was established by my parents in 1981. We've been a certified organic vegetable operation for over 20 years. We raise lamb and beef and pork. We cut and sell cordwood. We make maple syrup, and we do a little bit of timber work in the woods in winter. Things that have been working well for Kearsarge Gore Farm over the last couple years, one thing would be the implementation of our no-till vegetable garden practices. The permanent raised beds, along with the cover cropping techniques and the vegetable rotation. We've seen big improvements in the quality of the vegetables and the produce, and alongside with a decrease in weed pressure and diseases and pests and things like that. So as far as challenges specifically related to COVID, I think that farms are capable of being resilient in areas like that, although there are instances where, yes, we have been negatively affected. For example, we typically do a maple weekend. The state does a statewide maple weekend where sugar houses across the state open up to the public and folks come in and view your operation and interact. That can be a financial driver for us early in the spring. The other thing that I found very concerning was the fact that supply chains were shutting down. And early on in the pandemic, you saw many empty shelves at the grocery store. If New Hampshire wants to truly be a resilient and a safe place for people to live, we need to build a better food system. Things that I am hopeful for are what seems to be a new and invigorated interest in learning about farms, supporting farms, being part of farms, and furthering farm success in New Hampshire. Kearsarge Gore Farm has entered into a program with Dartmouth College where they're doing farm stays with one of their programs, and we will be hosting for Dartmouth College students, and they will be working and living on the farm for 4 days and then doing a report on that. Kearsarge Food Hub and the Sweet Beet Farm has just recently started a program with Colby Sawyer College and doing a farm internship program. At one of our recent Economic Development Committee meetings in town, we met with the Kearsarge area superintendent who voiced his support for investing in high school programs, vocational programs, and internship possibilities with local businesses in the area. And we hope to promote farms as one of the top areas that those kids would be getting involved in. There are many ways that people can support Kearsarge Gore Farm. The most direct ways to do that would be coming to the Warner area farmers markets or the Concord area farmers markets. Also shopping at the Sweet Beet Market in Bradford and the Warner Public Market in downtown Warner. are great ways to not just support Kearsarge Gore Farm directly, but to support the food system in which Kearsarge Gore Farm is an active participant. Other ways to support would be to come out and interact on the farm. Come visit the farm, stop by, see what we do. I think it's important for people to have a real understanding of how these local farms operate, what they grow, what they look like, and what everyday life on a New Hampshire farm is like. And I think that just that piece of information, that personal knowledge of our farms, I think will be a driver in changing our habits to become more farm friendly, local farm friendly.
Okay, welcome back. Hope that was fun for you all to watch. It was certainly fun to make. Susan has been such a remarkable community member since her and Dawn moved to town in 2015, actually, which is right when we got started at the Kearsarge Food Hub, and they wasted absolutely no time getting involved in the community, helping us in our development of the food hub, and as she mentioned, the gardening club, the Bradford Center Meeting House. Don works for the Bradford Bridge, the local paper. He's helped us with our design and our logos, and they've had their hands in everything in such a caring and gentle way, and we are so grateful to have them in the community. And Sam Bauer, I mean, come on. Who doesn't love Sam Bauer? He's pretty amazing. Taking over his family farm over in Warner. And in fact, many of us who started the Kearsarge Food Hub first kind of got acquainted with farming at all by working on Sam Bauer's farm, being friends with Sam back in high school, and they've absolutely paved the way for living and loving local in our community. Which actually reminds me that Sam is a co-founder of Warner Public Market. And so we would really like to kick it back to that Warner Public Market video for you all now so you can hear directly from them about what they're up to over in Warner. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Sarah Hansen. We're in front of Warner Public Market, Main Street Warner, a couple other Main Street businesses here. We've got a little Main Street thing going on. Warner Public Market is a workers cooperative, so there's myself and 4 other partners involved in this endeavor. It wouldn't have been possible to start this store without the workers cooperative part of it. We all put in equal shares, and we're able to start this venture together. We're all employed in other areas, and this was really a labor of love and passion to get this going. We bought the building and started the grocery store in 2018. We focus on food within a 30-mile radius. If we can't find it local and organic within the 30 miles, we look elsewhere, but most of our focus is on really supporting the farmers that are in our local food shed. Our food shed and our watershed is like right here to us. So we want to make sure that our food dollars are going to people who are growing in our area, as well as artists. Warner has a huge art scene that we want to support. We've got a gallery in town, we've got a couple other craft stores in town, and what we're focused on is finding homemade, handcrafted art that's a little bit funky and that is just going to inspire people to be making more things, you know? Everybody's got a little talent hidden inside of them, and we want to just, nurture that a little bit. One of the big challenges that we and a lot of other food businesses are now are just competing against, the online shopping that really took hold last year in people's lives. It's so convenient, it's so easy. But, making a local economy work takes everybody. The products that we offer are a little bit more expensive for various reasons. We're giving money directly to the farmers or directly to the artists who are making these products, and for that reason, we're charging prices that are a little higher than you're going to find from some conventional grocery stores where a lot of the food prices are subsidized. Our local farmers keep growing, and when they deliver the produce, it's there. It's easy. We haven't run into any of the things that these big companies have run into in the past year. It's small scale, it's human scale economy is what it is. And I think these places and everybody else that you're going to learn about through the Kearsarge Food Hub is human scale. Last year, so many things came to light in our society that people need to really be able to take time to slow down, that they really need to find nourishment in their own lives and really reassess the things that are important to them. And I think trying to align this business where we're coming in and asking people to spend their money with us, trying to align that mission of, staying alive, keeping the business afloat with our own mission of feeding and inspiring people has been a huge success. Identifying what people need, what products would bring joy into people's lives, connecting with makers and farmers whose work and whose passion for what they're doing comes through in, what we can offer at our store. If we're gonna live in a society where, you're gonna find joy in something that you can buy on a shelf, I think that as a business owner that I have a responsibility to make that joy immediate and also intangible. I think it should last longer than the length of the product too. If you buy a really good head of lettuce and you make the best salad ever, I want you to be thinking about that salad for like weeks, And if you buy a print and you hang it on your wall, I want you to think about the maker who makes, made that print every time you look at it. One of my big hopes for 2022, first of all, workshops. We're gonna get more people doing workshops because that's the thing that if you can sit around, make a rag rug together, or if you can sit around and carve spoons, if you can sit around and make a zine, or sit around and talk with people and learn how to do something and use your hands, I think that 2022 is going to be the best year ever. You can find us 19 East Main Street, Warner, New Hampshire, the house that looks like our logo. We've got a lovely planter box out front. There's plants here. Find us there. You can also find us on social media, Instagram at Warner Public Market, warnerpublicmarket.com, both those places.
We're back!
And we're back. So I just want to highlight a couple more auction items. We're not going to switch to the auction items screen because we actually have some of the items here. One of which is on Hannah's head. An amazing...
Can be washed.
Can be
By
washed.
the way, will be.
Warner Public Market hat. And they've made a nice donation to the auction for which we're really grateful.
Right, and as Sarah mentioned, their logo looks like they're building, and she's actually the one who created that for them. So multi-talented individuals over there, no doubt.
Very much so. We also have over here, Hannah, Vanna, and Vanna. they rhyme. So what is reportedly the best maple syrup from Kearsarge Gore Farm. We also have here a beautiful Love Local mug from Sumas. And I actually happen to have a few of these in my home. And they're my favorite mugs. If they aren't washed, I make sure that they're washed for my morning coffee. They're just, they're just beautiful and make the morning sacred in a lot of ways. And knowing that they come from Sue just means the world to me. So again, please check out the auction items in the auction, and
bring that up later.
Yeah, later.
We have a plan. We did plan. Beautiful, beautiful. And the auction is one tool to help us all have a 50-mile holiday. So if we're looking for gifts and we want to get them close to home, everything in the auction is from within a 50-mile radius of our home base here in Bradford. A very intentional circle that we've created there that we're sourcing these from. Another way to have a 50-mile holiday is to shop at Warner Public Market, shop at Sweet Beet Market, because you know that we're both committed to sourcing locally. And if you're thinking about your holiday meals coming up, what better way to create a meal worth celebrating for your family than to get it directly from your local neighbors within our community?
About 10 years ago, I did a 100-mile holiday, and that was a challenge. And that was way back in the day when we were first starting out on the slow movement food stuff. So I really encourage you all to try to do either the 100-mile or the 50-mile. It's an amazing way to bring your family together, having everybody contribute and have to think about it. And it was really one of the most fun holiday meals I've ever had with my family.
That sounds like a fun way to get the family involved. I've had a bit of a different history with my family once I started learning about the conventional food system, and particularly something like a Thanksgiving turkey and where those actually come from when you buy them at the grocery store. We don't need to get into it now. Some images were shown at the beginning of that Love Local video about exactly how animals are raised in factory farming environments. And when I learned about that, I basically came to my family's Thanksgiving or holiday table with a lot of shame and a lot of shaming. And it didn't end well sometimes. And I think the better way to do it is kind of a challenge like that, to say, let's challenge ourselves to see if we can even do it. Can we source all of our ingredients within a 50 or 100-mile radius and bring all your family members into the fold rather than starting a family fight on your holiday? I don't recommend it.
Live and learn.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's awesome. We hope that these are helpful little tidbits, and we have just a few minutes, just about 40 or so minutes left, and a few videos left for you. We're really going to get a little serious now. Tara, we have your video coming up.
Oh gosh.
It's going to be great. Tara's going to talk about embracing humanity and what that means, and then we're going to visit a little more upbeat, although it's all upbeat because it all really means a lot. We're going to visit Monica and Wood Thrush Farm at the Henniker Community Market. So let's check it out.
Hi there, I'm Tara Mahady. I moved to this area about 5 years ago now. It really wasn't until I got to know the folks at the Kearsarge Food Hub that I started to make friends and feel part of the community. 2 years ago, they asked me to take a pledge, and I did, and my piece of the pledge was that I pledged to embrace humanity. I took the pledge to embrace humanity, and you know, I'm here at 11 West Main. It's a place, it's a building, and yet it's so much more. You know, there are humans who are inhabiting this place, organizations that just want to make the world a better place, whether it's the Food Hub or Evergreen Healing Arts. Both of those organizations in particular have made this region home. When I first came to Sweet Beet Market, I'll never forget I think it was probably the second time I came in. B, who a lot of people probably know, recognized me immediately and welcomed me and said hello by name, and I remember being so surprised that B just remembered me. I came to look forward to going shopping. I knew I could come here and get foods that would nourish my body and that came from a really healthy and good and environmentally conscious place, from all the local farmers. What I didn't know is that this place would end up nourishing my soul and my spirit. I think that that's one of the things that the Food Hub does so well, is to invite people in. I went from being a shopper at Sweet Beet Market to then helping out with some fundraising and marketing, volunteering, and then I ended up on the board of the Food Hub. And now I actually stepped off the board and I am working for the Kearsarge Food Hub. I can't imagine being a part of any other work right now in my life, because really what the heartbeat of this work is to embrace humanity and to allow ourselves to be embraced back.
My name is Monica. I live in Henniker, New Hampshire. I run this farmer's market. It is the Henniker Community Market. This is our 10th season. Today is the last day of the season. I've been running it for 10 years. And I also more recently started a printmaking business called Thrush Farm. And that is what I'm doing here today. I'm selling my block prints and I'm doing a printmaking demo. And I learned block printing from Sarah Hansen at the Warner Public Market at a workshop just 2 years ago. And then I started doing it more full time, and now I do it as like my job.
Wait, so you're saying that you carved something and then the thing that you left there showed up and what you carved on it?
Yes. So you see, like, everywhere that I carved is still pink, right? And it doesn't have black ink on it. So you have to kind of think a little bit backwards. And then you do like this, right? I forgot my favorite tool, but you can really do this with anything. People use like the back of a wooden spoon. I don't think it's hard. I think it's really fun. And my kids do it too, so I think everyone can do it. One of them's 7. You're 7? Nice. Yeah, you can get a lot of this stuff just like at a store in Concord, like at Michael's. Have you ever been there? It's an art supply store, like a craft food store. Yep. Yep.
All these things applied with sleep. We'll climb that hill, no matter how steep. When we get up to it,
well, I'm transferring the ink onto this piece of paper. Wow.
Do you happen to carve these yourself? It's wet rubber.
So this is my last outdoor market of the season, but I will be doing a few indoor holiday markets. I don't yet know the details of that, so you can follow me on Facebook, it's With Thrush Farm, or on Instagram, it's With Thrush Farmer. That is it.
Welcome back. Anybody tearing up out there? Monica is so inspiring. I love how she took a woodblock workshop at Warner Public Market just 2 years ago and then has dove in headfirst in her craft. We are so grateful to know her in all of the ways that she shows up for the community. Starting the Henniker Farmers Market 10 years ago, When COVID hit, she organized these food delivery systems to get groceries to, I think, over 60 households every week for many weeks. She just knows how to get stuff done and support people and show up in that way. And now she's making this beautiful art. Obviously, those kids at the market were super inspired by what she was doing. If you're inspired by what she's doing, if you want to learn how to woodblock print the way she does have a woodblock printing workshop up on the auction, a $400 value for 10 people to take a class with her, learn what she's learned, get a closer behind the scenes look at how she does what she does. If you just want to enjoy the fruits of her labor, we also have this beautiful tea towel and other...
Yeah, there's a package of prints, and there's a bag that goes with it. It's really lovely.
Ah, amazing. And thank you so much, Monica. And I believe we mentioned, but Monica's also on the board here at the Kearsarge Food Hub, so thank you so much. Well, and that brings us to Tara. Tara, I just want to say you have absolutely changed the Kearsarge Food Hub for the better, and you've changed my whole experience with the work, with all of the energy and passion and experience and heart and intention that you bring to the work. So thank you so much for being here, and you've really led the way for all of us to reconnect our humanity back with our work. So many workplaces have severed the humanity out of our workday, and we're trying to reforge those connections, and you have been such a leader in that for us. So thank you so much.
You promised you wouldn't make me cry.
No, I didn't.
Well, you know, it's one of those situations, and I think this is the beauty of the Food Hub, is that you all inspire me every single day and make me want to be a better person. And I think that I've seen it in the chat, people saying the exact same thing. And I could never give back everything that this community is giving me. So thank you.
And can I just also say that one of my favorite bits that you said, Leah also said a similar thing when she spoke to not just giving a massage, but getting a massage.
Yeah.
And you spoke to not just embracing humanity, but allowing yourself to be embraced back.
Yeah.
It's this give and take, which is the essence of community resilience, which I think is so beautiful. How's everybody doing out there? We're right on track. We love all of the comments in the chat, are just so heartwarming. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us
and to participate. And we do have another question for you. So one of my core values is love local, and we would love to hear what your love local why is. We talked earlier on in the evening about how you love local, but we'd love to hear your why. So if you could just take a couple minutes and put things into the chat, that would be really great. We'd love to keep hearing from you.
Yeah.
Hannah, I'm curious what your love local why
Well,
is.
real quick, I just want to circle back. I mean, I feed off of why. I'm the kind of person that can't do anything unless I know why, and I have a purpose and a why. So I think now more than ever, as we carry on our day-to-day, as we face all of these challenges, as we grow into the future, knowing why we're doing what we're doing is essential. It's what's going to get you to face the hard stuff every single day, and I just think it's the core of why we're here as humans, not to get too existential on you.
It wouldn't be a KFH event with Hannah.
It wasn't at least a little bit teetering in that realm. Well, my why, I mean, I guess my why would be my family, my kids. When I think about, you know, the future, it's for us, but it's also more for them. And I feel like we've definitely inherited some systems that are taking more than their fair share. And I'm really interested in rebalancing those systems on so many levels in the community, with the environment, with our interactions in the workplace, so that there is enough. I mean, there is enough. There's an abundance all around us, and how can we translate that through our actions so that our children can live rich and full lives full of opportunity and connection?
It's beautiful.
Off the cuff.
Which is great.
How about you, Tara? What's your why?
You know, my why is really about everything that we've seen tonight. It's about all of the relationships and connections, and it's really a belief that local is, and it sounds dramatic, but I'm
Go
dramatic.
there.
You know, I really think that it's going to be our local community that holds each other up. Like, as this world's tough right now, and
let's be real, it's tough.
It is tough, and we are all looking for meaning, and it's hard to stay positive, and it's hard to go through the dark stuff alone. And I really believe that it's this local community that we're building together through local food, through local farming, that will make the difference in the long run. And I don't have children. I have nieces and nibblings, and you know, it's for them. It's for them too. So that's my why. I'm not as articulate as you are.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful, and that's, you know, that the actions on these small scales have a ripple effect. And if we can be true to ourselves and authentic in those actions, then it absolutely ripples out and makes a huge difference on a bigger scale. Well, on that note, we have one more video for you to tie it all together. We're revisiting some of the folks that we've heard from tonight, and we're going to take the Love Local pledge again. So let's head over to that final video of the evening.
Personally, I'm excited about strengthening our community ties. There were so many connections that were started this year and last year, and the web is there, and I think purposefully using our time to make connections with those people, take a big deep breath and just figure out who we want to be devoting our time to, helping out, who we want to be organizing with, and what goals we can be working towards.
I'm hopeful that the external forces that we feel, the pressures such as the slaughterhouse pressure, prices, stuff like that, it becomes more aware to the local community. The power is through buying and where you choose to buy. So choosing to buy at a farmer that you know, from animals that you know, really changes the complete dynamic.
I would say one thing I'm hopeful for is what appears to be the growing interest in the importance of local farms in New Hampshire.
There is a shared desire to have nutrient rich and dense foods, so that always comes back to the farmer being a steward to the land. That trickles down to being stewards of people who process vegetables for value-added end product, to our local stores. Your connections and relationships to your food matter and always have, and maybe somewhere we kind of got lost along the way, but I think we're found. There isn't a place you can go now that people don't know the importance of locality, and that feels really hopeful, doesn't it, guys? Yeah. You guys know the drill, right? Yeah. We pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge. I pledge.
I pledge. I continue to pledge to believe in tomorrow.
I pledge to believe in tomorrow.
To believe in tomorrow.
To believe in tomorrow.
To believe in tomorrow.
In tomorrow.
By supporting
local food.
By supporting local food, farms.
Local food, farms, community.
Local food, farms, and community.
Local food, farms, and community.
And community today.
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 Thank you.
Yay!
We're back.
Should have brought tissues.
That was so much fun to put together, and kind of as a mirror to that 2019 video, just seeing those faces. It's about those faces, those voices, those people. We're so grateful to be working alongside them and knowing them and befriending them, and to be on this journey with all of them and all of you. It's an absolute joy. That doesn't mean it's without its challenges, but it's really a joy and a gift.
So now we are all going to take the pledge together. So we're going to do a little call and response here. So I'm going to read the pledge. Hannah and Peter here as well are going to recite it with me. And I hope that you all will do this at home too.
Don't be shy.
I've done this.
Call it out.
I've done this pledge twice now, and it actually has made a difference in my life in terms of intentionality. So I really encourage you to join in as you're sitting there, wherever you are right now. So let's take a moment. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel yourself in your body. Take a couple of deep breaths and reflect back on all the videos you've seen, all the people you've met or gotten to know a little bit better. Think about your why. Then you could bring your hands over your heart if you want. And just really tune into that, what you're grateful for. And then we'll take the pledge. I pledge to believe in tomorrow.
I pledge to believe in tomorrow.
By supporting local food, farms, and community today.
By supporting local food, farms, and community today.
I'd love to hear from all of you in the chat if you pledge. So if you could just chat in there.
Chat away, chat away.
I pledge. That would be wonderful, or an emoji of some sort.
And speaking those words, I mean, it does make a difference. It does make a difference to put those words out there into the world and to make an effort to live by them.
Yeah. I remind myself of it quite often, and I have this cute little graphic up on my refrigerator, which is a really great place for it as a reminder all the time. All right. So.
All right. Well, it brings us to the end of our evening. I just want to say thank you for hanging in there with us for the tech. We had a couple issues, but I think that it more or less kind of resolved, and you were able to enjoy and watch and not be disrupted. So yay to that.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. As a reminder, this is a kickoff event to our season of gratitude and giving. We are going to be focusing on that message for the entire month of November, culminating on Giving Tuesday, which is November 30th.
So also a reminder that we have this matching gift challenge on the table. $30,000, dollar for dollar, throughout the month of November. So every donation is leveraged and doubled. So we hope to raise $60,000 by the end of November to support our different initiatives, our food sovereignty and food access and security programs, our food and farm-based education, and our community building events. And thank you so much for being a part of our community and helping us to do this work.
And to kind of tie it all together, Kearsarge Food Hub is the home of Sweet Beet Farm, Market, and Cafe. In order to have that 50-mile holiday, challenge yourself to a 50-mile holiday. When you come shop with us at Sweet Beet Market, when you come to the cafe, and through there you're getting goods not only from Sweet Beet Farm, but all the other farmer partners that we work with to bring their products in. You're able to have that 50-mile holiday, get goods from close to home, and that also supports our nonprofit efforts. It is also programming of the Kearsarge Food Hub, so it all circles back to reinvigorating the community within a restorative local food system.
And a reminder again about the auction, the online auction. There's something for everybody, and all of our donors' websites are linked, so you can check out all that they have to offer. Closes December 3rd, and again, in plenty of time, and I'm popping that link into the chat again right now.
And we definitely encourage you to get in touch with those farmers, those artists, those makers, see if they're at holiday markets this year, or if they're selling things in other places, or you can support them in other ways. We fully encourage you to make direct connections and relationships with all of these people in whatever way feels right for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, on that note, I would like to sincerely thank all of the farmers and makers who took the time to host me on their farm, at their operation, in their home, at their market. I want to thank Kearsarge Gore Farm. I want to thank Warner Public Market, Micro Mamas over in Ware. I want to thank Wood Thrush Farm and Monica, so wonderful, and of course the Bruss family up at Silver Hill Farm. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your story with us. I know it's not always comfortable to have someone put a video camera in your face and ask you questions, but you all did an incredible job, and that's because you believe in what you're doing and it actually truly makes a difference. So thank you so much.
And I want to thank all the people who helped make this event happen. We have an absolutely incredible community engagement committee made up of volunteers here at the Food Hub. Peter Arnold, who's behind the scenes here doing all of our tech, has been amazing. Leah Cummings, Monica Rico, Ellen Bronson, they've all had a hand in making this event what it is tonight. We could not have done it without them. I'm also going to do a call out here of Hannah. Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
This was not planned.
So Hannah put together these videos. Leah went and shot some of the videos, but Hannah took a lot of time in putting these together and has a really unique ability to see the beauty in the community and to be able to bring it out in this way. And so all of these videos, all of the event promotion, everything had to do with Hannah. And so Hannah, thank you very much for all you bring to our community.
Thank you. It's an absolute honor. Pleasure.
And one of the best partners in crime I've ever had. So I also really want right now, I know there are a lot of staff who have been tuning in tonight. Also, all of our team members. There's some board members who are on, and there are staff. Staff and board members, could you please raise your hand in the chat, either with an emoji or just say hi, because none of this is possible without any of you. So I'd really, please don't be shy and leave me hanging out here.
Let's go, people.
I know there are some of you, so please just say hi.
And I just want to build off of that and say our staff and our board have both grown in beautiful ways. We have more team members working on the front lines than ever before.
6 to what? I mean,
6 to like 31 people in our full team emails that we send out monthly. That includes about 9 people on the board and the rest on staff. So more people than ever before carrying out the day-to-day. Woohoo! What's up, everybody?
Thank you.
Absolutely incredible work. Our organization is so complex and dynamic, and there's so many ins and outs that it's really hard to communicate that to the public exactly what goes on to make all of this Sweet Peat Market, farm, cafe, our education, community building, food donations, all the ins and outs of it takes an incredible amount of heart and work, and so all of those people you see in the chat are responsible for that. So
thank you.
Heck yes. And I think we do also want to mention thank you Tara, thank you Kathleen, thank you Susan, and thank you there's Leah. Oh my gosh, this is Leah's space. Leah, I feel like you're working through me right now. Thank you so much for letting us be in your space and for sitting down and for getting all those videos, and thank you so much.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you again for helping us hit our fundraising goal for the evening, going over $3,000. We're at $3,175, and that's amazing.
Thank you.
We're 10% of the way to that $30,000 goal, and it's really just fabulous.
Yeah,
so
that's a
thank
dream
you.
come true. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
All right.
Well, we're about to let you go early. We're letting you off the hook a little bit early.
You will get follow-up from us. We're going to, you'll get a follow-up email that will have a link to the auction, and soon you will have some meal plans for 50-mile meal plans as well.
Yep, we're going to be creating some resources out of Sweet Beet Market. We always have weekly recipes that come to you in Sweet Beet Weekly. If you are signed up for our newsletter, you will be getting, as usual, recipes through there. And then we're going to work on some specially crafted meal plan, shopping list recipes for upcoming holiday season. So definitely keep your eyes out for that.
So thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for taking the time to be here with us tonight. It meant the world to us to share this with you. And don't forget that somebody here is going to win a $100 Sweet Beet Market and Cafe gift card. We will be pulling the winner later, and you will be notified by us. So keep your eyes and ears open for whoever the lucky winner is. We want to see you here in Sweet Beet coming up in the next few weeks. We have turkey orders going. We have a lot of great things coming in the market right now. So come see us. Come see us at Sweet Beet. Go see all these wonderful people that we showcased tonight. And that's the difference that really is going to make our communities strong, resilient, and joyful now into the future.